Okay, so hi all. Here's what I've done. I've taken a drive-in movie theater speaker set that we have. This one's an RCA, and what I've done is I've made a wireless, battery-operated Bluetooth setup out of this. This one I bought off of eBay. It had already been modified, had been built to run off of a home stereo system. The original system would have been a 70-volt amplified system with a transformer inside taking the voltage down to what it needed to run with, I believe it was 8 ohm speakers. The speakers in this have been replaced before I got it to a 4 ohm system, and that is compatible with what I needed to make this work. What I've done here is I've taken the circuit board out of a pair of computer speakers that are basically headphone jack in from a mini stereo plug, goes through the amplifier, which is powered by a power supply, and sends the sound out to the little speakers. In that, it runs these speakers just fine. I'm running the speakers that should fit in here, 4-inch speakers. They're just 4 ohm instead of 8 ohm. The volume knobs had all been replaced in this, and they all work the same as they should. The board that I have, it has a volume knob on it too. I just keep that at max volume. Anyways, so what I've done here is I've taken the board out of a speaker, and I've soldered wires going to from the board to the speakers going out to the speaker boxes, left and right channel, so this does work in stereo. And the speaker board was powered by a 6-volt power supply. And I still have this wired so I can still use this, but I've got it wired up. Each one of those battery packs is 4 AA batteries. Each AA battery is 1.5 volts. 4 times 1.5 is 6 volts. I have 2 of them for double the storage capacity of energy, so it'll play longer instead of going dead, because AA batteries don't hold a lot of energy. I've wired them through a switch in the bottom of the base, going through an existing hole. I didn't drill any new holes in this. I didn't want to change anything. This had already been changed and painted up into Coca-Cola colors from someone before, and I kind of like that look. But in that, it's a push button switch that just dangles down under and allows me to turn on and off the power to the board. When I turn it on, the LED still lights up, indicating we've got power. I maintained the original plug for the power supply going to the batteries through a kit that I got at Radio Shack, so that I can either use the power supply if I'm plugged in the house and don't want to use batteries, or I can use the batteries if we're at a show. To make it wireless, the original wire coming from the speakers is still attached. What I've done is I've taken a Bluetooth adapter, which is this little unit here. It just uses a stereo mini jack coming in, and I put an adapter on that to go from the plug in, so I've got a double female stereo adapter to go into it. This is all set up to feed wirelessly from my phone, my tablet, whatever I have that's Bluetooth, to send my music or audio to the speakers. So I can run this all day off of an extra phone, MP3 player, iPod, whatever you want to use. Pretty simple operation. Let me shut this off, and I'll actually put it all together so you can see what it kind of looks like all assembled, so it makes a little more sense, because right now it just looks like a bunch of spaghetti all over my countertop. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff kind of just stuck into here. The circuit board, I've got it backed with a piece of foam rubber to keep it from grounding. I've taken the LED that was with it and let it come out one of the openings, so that when I power it up from the side, you can see it come on. This all actually tucks in very nicely under the cover. The awkward part about it is powering up the Bluetooth adapter, which is tucked down in there. I have to lift the lid to do that. But when we go to the car shows, I really don't want anything dangling out, because people seem to want to touch everything at the car shows. If they see that thing hanging out, they're going to poke it. I'm pretty sure it's bad enough with the power switch hanging there that someone's going to poke that and see what it does. But for just the simple twist of one screw for the cap, I can live with that at the car shows. We can stick a screwdriver in one of our toolboxes. But basically I put some chokers, zip ties for chokers on the wires going out to the speaker boxes so they can't be pulled out. And while like I said, I do have extra slack from things such as the audio input that goes to the Bluetooth adapter. That's just so that I can run the wires out if I need to plug into something, if we're someplace at a show that's indoors and I've got electricity and I can let it run off something different than my phone. But anyways, this is kind of the open look at it. Let me take the lid here and put it on and you can have a look at it, and I'll grab my phone and show you what it does. Okay, so here's all my speakers completely assembled. The lid's on the junction box. It's completely together. So basically, when I reach around the corner here, let me take this speaker off so you can see it. The LED light comes on to tell me it's powered up. I've already turned on the Bluetooth adapter. When you look at my phone, it's actually called Blue Jacks. I can't remember if that's the manufacturer's name, whatever on it, but that's what we use. Anyways, so let's do this. Let's get out of all of this stuff here really quick, and we will go to some music. We're Bluetooth to this. Let's go to here. Let's go with some classic retro music. So when I run the volume on the phone, turns them up, turns them down. For phone purposes, I'll have them turned up. At twilight time. It's a little hard to tell because it's stereo and both are going. Fingers of night will soon surrender. But we can turn them up and down through the volumes on the speakers. Together at last at twilight time. Or through the phone. And whatever we do on the phone translates to the speakers. Play skip. Next song. It's all wirelessly Bluetooth. When you look at this, there is nothing coming out of this whatsoever. It is completely standalone. Only wires are from the junction box to the speakers, so it looks like it should, like when you're at the movie theaters. Basically, I found all the ideas for this. On YouTube. I found several people who used the computer speakers to amplify other speakers using the board out of the speakers to use better speakers, to basically go from their phones, their iPods, their computers to speakers. I found some other people who were making speakers with the speakers from the computer setup, but they were making them battery operated. So basically I took a whole bunch of everybody else's different ideas off of YouTube, stuck them together, put on a Bluetooth adapter, and put it inside a drive-in movie theater speaker. This is how we're going to do it for the car shows, and if you have a better idea, I'd love to hear from you. If not, you're welcome to steal what I did, because, well, we're all about having fun with these. Thanks.